Y'all really did it again. Here we go. The first console I ever owned was a Game Boy Advance. My older siblings had plenty of experience with the Vidyas, so before even touching my first video game, I had some mild peripheral understanding of what was going on. My sis would play Tomb Raider, my brother would play Tekken. But thinking back, I don't actually remember much about those games, and I think it's because I saw them before I had the curse. I saw them before I was a gamer. With the start of a new decade, a lot of people are having a retrospective look at the most influential games of the past, but I am a bit more narcissistic, so I'm going to go further back into my own history and celebrate the games that earned me my level 1 gamer license. These are the 5 games that made my childhood. And 5 honourable mentions. So, for the honourable mentions we have Shenmue, released in 1999 for the Sega Dreamcast. Some of my earliest memories involve me getting the capsule toys in this game. Mario Kart Double Dash, released in 2003 for the Nintendo GameCube. Fond memories with my siblings. iToy, released in 2003 for the PlayStation 2. It was my first experience with some kind of additional peripheral added onto the game. The Sega Genesis Classics disc for the PC, year unknown, because it's like a bunch of games just on like one disc. I played a bunch of Sonic Spinball, Altered Beast, and Vector Man, and all of it was super duper fun. And the final honourable mention is Super Mario Land and the 6 Golden Coins for the Game Boy Color. Yeah, I didn't bother looking it up for the video. It is the first game I ever remember completing. I bloody loved it. And now for the big boys, ladies and gentlemen. In the 5 games that defined my childhood, we have 2 platformers, 1 sports game, 1 shooter, and 1 RPG. These are not organised by impact or significance. They all in some large way helped shape and cement my lifelong love of video games. To start off this list, I'd like to drop just 2 seconds of a music track on you, and if you immediately get that rush of nostalgia, I'm expecting some oh shits downstairs. Here it is, just 2 seconds. You ready? You got it? Oh, it's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, fam! I adore this game! It's one of those games that I've played so much that I can't not just, like, muscle memory speedrun it. If I ever catch anyone playing this game, I'll be like, yo, you need some emblems? Are your chows well fed? Do you need me to farm some Chaos Drives? I'll look for, like, any excuse to play this game because I'd never have a bad time playing it. Or even just coming into contact with it. Whenever I hear the Chow Garden theme or the rolling around at the speed of down, I'm reminded of a time when I was like 7 and the curved purple of the GameCube controller was my favourite sight. There may have been Wind Waker, there may have been Wave Race, there may have been Super Mario Sunshine, but Sonic Adventure 2 Battle still holds up as the game I played most, with gameplay that I still believe holds up today. The game has even produced some of my favourite memes, referencing to some of the intrusive voice lines that had to be overlaid to interrupt each other due to organisational issues with the localisation team.
You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
That's when they had to, like, change it from Japanese to English and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And, of course, the I've come to make an announcement video, which I feel guilty to say made me...
Stop laughing! Alright.
fucking cry. I shed a tear when Shadow got Thanos, and I'm still waiting for Sega to bring back the Chow Garden. Do what must be done, Sega. Do what must be done. The next game I want to talk about is a radical snowboarding experience called SSX Tricky. I've never been a huge fan of sporting games. Something in my sweaty incel genes just have this aversion to things that look like exercise, but SSX Tricky succeeded in so many ways with just the most charming cast of characters, some mind-boggling and varied course design, and just a soundtrack that demands that your heart beats just a bit faster. It's simple, but it's pumping, and it's got this really nice effect where everything breezes out your earlobes when you're in air. Sweetness. I originally played this on the PlayStation 2. My twin brother actually punched me in real life because I knocked him off his snowboard in-game. That's actually a mechanic. You can punch each other in the face in this snowboarding game. And to be honest, that's one of the best things about this game. It's just got interesting mechanics. If you play a Grand Prix, your character will have pre-existing friends and rivals before you start, and the more aggressively you play towards them, the more aggressive they are coded to be towards you later throughout the Grand Prix. The voice acting can be a little...
Oh, no! I know you didn't mean that!
like that at times, but something that I have to compliment SSX Tricky, Tekken, and Overwatch for is just mixing languages. I adore language, and a game where you can have varied nationality characters speaking their native tongue. Oh. Just makes me gush. I had a blast hitting the slopes with my siblings, and this continued all the way into SSX 3, where they expanded on the map structure greatly, they heavily embellished the character customization options, and they were both just wonderful, snowy games. Thank you for doing something right, EA. Next off, I want to talk about what is visually my favourite game on this list, Super Mario World for the SNES. Never has a combination of sounds and colours been so satisfying as in this game. Something that I like bringing up now and then is that bit my tongue, fuck. Something that I like bringing up now and then is that I am in fact Dutch. I was born over in this place, and my Dutch cousins at the time had an SNES. This was my first interaction with the console. Donkey Kong Country was a bit too hard for me, but Super Mario World, with its lovely sprite work, playful soundscape, and just like a colour palette that's lifted out of a children's colouring book, it was just a bunch of my favourite flavours in a game. This game alone sold Mario Maker for me. The idea that I'd get to play endless amounts of this was all the motivation I needed to hit up simplygames.com and drop $44.99 on a pre-order. It's a game that I feel will never lose its appeal, as its art style hits like a timeless pixel sweet spot where it's not too crusty, the controls weren't too rigid, and for me, it's just the most quintessential a Mario game gets. There's power-ups, there's secret worlds, and there's polish. Mwah. The second to last game on this list is an arena shooter. It's a genre of games that has been slowly becoming more infrequent, with games opting for more battle royale or tactical shooter experiences, and that's not a terrible trade-off, but it's a wicked tragedy, because I've yet to see an arena shooter with a gameplay loop that has ever hit me quite as hard as Timesplitters 2. Oh, this is not just a big boy bad man game. This is a sizable patriarch of tyranny kind of game. Timesplitters 2 is one of the best examples of what games were before DLC existed, with over 100 unlockable characters, unlockable levels, unlockable in-game cheats to provide silly twists on the gameplay, a cooperative story mode, a very detailed extra challenge mode, a build your own level feature, and Snake. That's a game within a game, lads. Gameception. Also, the story mode is really challenging. Like, there's hard mode missions that I've still never completed to this day, so frankly, I've still got a reason to go back and play the game. Well, there's that, and just how fun and varied the party game modes are. It's got Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, you know what, I'm just going to shamelessly read out the list, alright? Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Bag, Bag Tag, Elimination, Shrink, Regeneration, Leech, Assault, Flame Tag, Virus, Vampire, Gladiator, Thief, Zones, and Monkey Assistant. Just because I know you'll want some clarity on that one, Monkey Assistant is a game mode in which, if you are in last place, a gang of well-firearmed monkeys will hunt down whoever's in first place, and you get all the points that the monkeys get by killing people. Loads of missions, loads of guns, load of fun. Cannot wait for this game to be remastered. The final game I want to drop is one that I'm sure a lot of you can already guess. More than a game, really, it was my first step into a cultural phenomenon and my first game in the series, Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy. This game was gifted to me by some guy who was so far up the nerd chain that he used to make money by selling RuneScape accounts. Yes, I'm sure he destroyed the pussy. I played this game at age 6, and these games take on a vastly different sense of scope when you are that young, and it's one of the only games you've ever played. I got literally lost throughout the roots and towns of the Kanto region. I remember taking my Game Boy to an aunt's birthday party, and my older cousin, who was also called Robert, showed me that I could get into Saffron City by giving the thirsty guard a bottle of water, and like, mind blown. This game felt like it had substance to it, more so than a lot of the simpler platformers or shooters that I had played, and it demanded that I see it through to the end. I earned the badges, I caught the birds, I felled the champ, and in the deepest recesses of the Cerulean City cave, I did what I thought was impossible. More than 15 years later, and I am still going through the same motions again, enchanted by a world teeming with life, challenge, and wonder. I love Pokemon. And those are just a handful of the many games that meant so much to me growing up. Feel free to let me know what you think of these games, and also pop in the comments what games you played when you were younger. I know a lot of my viewers are much younger than me, so you might have grown up playing your fucking Fortnite and fucking Minecraft, but I'm genuinely interested. I'm interested to see how the times have changed. So thank you to everybody who watched, and thank you for my little platoon of supporters on Patreon. You guys make me hope that I could do this full time one day. In the meantime, peace. Bookstore girl, I wonder what your name is. You know you're famous in my group of friends. Oh, bookstore girl, I feel the sudden urge to purchase the book you shelved the other day. Bookstore girl. Bookstore girl.